Do you talk about Korea with your family? Do you like to talk about it with your family, or not that much?
No. The only time, and right here, since this week here, I've stopped to talk to people, and right away we connected. Even though we were in different areas, we connected. We talked the same language, we talked the same things that we did. And one fellow was Amy. I had written down, he wrote a couple of books, and I brought a couple of books from him. And he just sat with me and talked to me, and it was like finding a moment, said, "No, we have to go for lunch." But you know, it's just that you connect with people because of what we did. We can understand. You know, everybody, everything I've said to you, you probably heard from other people. I know your fathers or grandfathers, whatever. They would talk to you not their father, and it's just like coming here to talk to you. I do this at home around the 11th of November, and I usually start my little talk by saying how many people here are 17, and I get them to stand up, and I say, okay, how about 18? 20 people stand up. And then I say 19, there's still people in school at 19. And I said, well, I didn't have that privilege. I said, I left when I was 50 and went into the lumber woods. At 16, I was carrying deal from the saw. That's carrying the lumber out when it comes out of the saw. And it's in different lengths. And they had like a harness made out of the horse harness to the lengths of it in the right pile. And I did that when I was 60. And then they turned around and that's when I went into the Army. Must be something better than this. I joined the Army, and it wasn't. But anyway, I got a call. At 17, I joined the Army. At 18, I was jumping out of airplanes. I'd never been in an airplane before.
Really?
The first time I went to jump, it said right on the fuselage, don't touch the fuselage. And I stepped over, and the Sergeant Major hollered, get your yourself back of that line. I said, I just wanted to see what it was made of. I've never been there.
Also not prepared at all?
Not to go in the airplane. I prepared to jump for months, well, a month or so. We started off little steps going up. And you start jumping off a small step, and you had to learn how to roll. And every time you went up, because our parachutes were designed for the Second World War, and they came down quite fast. Okay, you couldn't steer them like you can. I could move them to the right or left with the wind, but you couldn't just sort of stop them in the air like they do. You see these people who skydiving. It wasn't like that. We came down as fast. They told us that, and I guess they're right, that when we landed on a jump, we were traveling like if you jumped off the back of a truck, probably 35 miles an hour. That's how fast we were coming in. And we had to roll because, you know, with that, you know, and you train so much to roll, you just automatically get the window. I first jumped though, every time they taught us how to jump, you know, all the different steps going up, they would say, look down, and when you go to the door, you count 1,000, and you holler, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, by then the chutes would be open. I went out the first time I went out, and I was always in good shape physically, and I think I kicked out too high, and I went backwards spinning, and I was going out spinning, and I went to say 1,000. The wind caught in my mouth, my head went back like that. The risers from my shoe hit my helmet, and the two grooves in my helmet pulled my head back. Now, after saying that, I've had a disc-magnetic seizure.
Oh, wow.
That got bad over the years too. So that was my very first ship, and you know I never counted it again. I thought they lied to me. From then on, I just went out and thought of them 1,000. And if my chute hadn't opened, I would never have opened my eyes. I would have hit the ground because I wasn't going to open my eyes until I fell over. Don't tell anybody that. That's good.
What did you think of like the Korean countryside?
Yeah, there's more countryside. That's exactly how we get
pretty rugged, really. The road,
they can see better, they can hear better, you know, at 21, and you're over
We
to them.
would go and think, well, I think I'm going to settle down here and stay here. I counted every day off. While I was there, I had a little big counter. I cut it in Fort Louis before I got on the ship. And every day I marked one day.
3 or 4 raises the rest of them.
Yeah, I'll tell you, when the war ended, then I found out that I wasn't going to go home until I had 14 months there anyway, so I had to stay.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
How did you know that the war was over?
Well, they just
Who
announced
told you? They announced
yeah,
it?
the radio.
Yeah, they announced it on the forces radio.
So you
Was
had
it expected, or it was
you know,
totally unexpected?
we heard, like everybody heard, that they were going to, that they were negotiating troops.
Okay.
And there's still only troops. They've never finished the war.
Yeah.
You know, I went back 4 years ago, and they're still on.
But you knew that they were negotiating and...
Yeah, troops, and finally it came through. Excuse me, I just want to.
And what was your feeling? What was your feeling?
Oh, I was happy. I thought I was going home. You think I'm stupid? I don't think so.
So you had to come back to the 38th parallel because you were already in
We had
Korea.
to come back. Yeah.
So you retreated?
What we had to do, we had to tear all our fortresses and things and bunkers and slip trenches and so we had to fill all that in case it didn't hold. Then they would be able to come up and take over from where we were. So before we left, we had to pull them up and shove them in the bunkers for hanging. But they'll do what they do. Anyway, so anyway, yeah, it wasn't a place that I'd like to go back and stay. Even now, when I'm back, it's built beautiful. And the roads down here, it's almost, say, Americanized, you know, in the south. Oh, thank you. I don't think I'm doing it very new. I mean, it felt like it was. Anyway, I wasn't a tourist here anymore. Yeah, it wasn't a place that I would like to live. If you really know, I've been around the world twice. I did the administration and 2 world tours with the National Defense College. I don't know if you know what that is. It's a college designed for senior officers and senior service members from Canada, the United States, and Great Britain. And I was sent from Washington back here to work with the Air Vice Marshal. He was the commandant. And my job was to look after the commandant's briefs, the hotel, but all these things were done by our embassies throughout the world. And I would have to get that information back to me before the people would go on the course. And then I would look after making sure that all these things were looked after. So I did it. I went through Asia, Africa, South America, all over Europe, 9 provinces of Canada, from the Northwest Territory.
You've been everywhere.
A week at the United Nations in New York, a week in Washington where I used to live, then down to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, then to Cape Kennedy, then to Mexico, from there to Spain, Trinidad, and then from there to Dakar to Senegal, and then from Dakar to Dar es Salaam, and then into Montgomery, and then from there up into Addis Ababa, then to Tehran,
What did your wife say? She just kept getting postcards, or was she with you?
Postcards. It was a hard job, really. It was a hard job, and I had to be on my toes because the people that I had on my horse were all from colonel rank or above, and civil servants from the 3 countries, and that was what they call the master of the base called one of the times I had, I don't know if you ever heard of Creighton Abrams, the Abrams tank, the American big battle tank.
Yeah.
Anyway, Creighton Abrams, when I was stationed in Washington, I'm regressing a bit. I took a staff car with a canoe from Washington and drove it all up the way up to the river in Medan, Quebec. You know where that is? And I took that up there and made arrangements for a group of Americans that we were entertaining from here. And there was General Seedlark and General Maxwell Taylor III and General McCow. Then there was, what am I saying? I'm slipping on them. Anyway, all these generals came up, like in 2 weeks period, one came up for a week on a salmon fishing trip. Can you imagine? I go all the way up to have these people come up and have a leisurely salmon fishing trip. And I don't speak French, but the little guide that we had, he was French Canadian, couldn't speak much English. And I'd go over and I'd talk to him, and I'd go back and the general would say, what kind of fly did they say to do? I said, dry fly today. I have no idea. I don't know if they were a dry fly or a wet fly. They do have that, but I had no idea what he was saying to me. I said, well, he says dry. None of them got a fish, but and I was there for 2 weeks. I had a great time.
Good souvenir.
Huh?
A good souvenir.
Oh, yeah. They liked the way I handled them.
And the Korean War, did that change you as a person?
I think so. When I was talking earlier, I used to have all the dreams when I first came home. And one of the things I used to do quite a bit was head out and knock a couple of lamps over and things like that. When I was, first come home, I was very anxious. And back in the day, we couldn't get help. If I had gone in for help, they wanted me out of the Army because it was going to be my career, and that's what I wanted to do. When I joined the Army, I tell people that if they had asked me to sign for 20 years that day, I would have signed for 20 years.
Really? Yeah.
That's the way I felt.